YouTube, what's up? It's Haley. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And so today's video, I have a very exciting video planned. I have been wanting to film a video like this for a while just because there's not many of these actually out there on YouTube. So today's video is going to be a romance slash fantasy books that contain little to no spice, very clean, wholesome, happy recommendations. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys a couple. I think these are all series. They're all series that I have. They're going to be clean books, but they're all really good. And honestly, even though there's no, maybe minimal to no spice in it, the plot building, the world building, the characters, everything else, the storytelling is so incredible that it honestly doesn't even make you think about that and you're not missing it. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, so the first series that I want to talk about is actually a duology. These books, one of them I'm not finished reading yet, but I read the other one and I absolutely love these books. I love this writer. Everything about it is so great, and that is the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn. They are a bit long, so if you like longer fantasy books with a bit of romance, then I definitely recommend these. These books are great. The plot's incredible and there is romance in it, but it's very minimal. It's kind of just cutesy and wholesome. It highlights, you know, the ups and downs of it, but yeah. Okay, so give you guys a little background on what this book is like to see if you're interested in it. This book is pretty much about a teenage girl named Bree, and her mom dies from a believed car accident, and she's pretty much just completely distraught about it. And her mom went to UNC Chapel Hill, and so Bree gets to go there for like a summer program, and it takes you along her journey of finding out her own destiny and the powers that she has within herself, and you get to meet great side characters, and it's kind of starts to build a little bit of a love triangle, which for me was one of the best parts because I am a sucker for like love triangles. I think they're so interesting. But Tracy Deonn did it in such a way that it wasn't boring. It was like, oh, you never really know. And it leads on into the second book, Bloodmarked, which I'm currently reading, and I am loving this book so far. I am not very far in it at all, but like I said, the descriptive language in this is incredible. Like honestly, I get so immersed in the plot that I literally feel like when I read these books, I'm there. I can see myself in the worlds. I envision it so well. And so if you want a really immersive book that's gonna make you feel cozy, happy, like I had so many expressive reactions when I was reading these books, especially Legendborn. I was like all the time. So I definitely recommend these. It's a bit medieval, like medieval fantasy with magic and fae. Okay, the next series that I only have the first book because I just finished reading this in about late September. It's The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book was incredible. It's perfect for fall. Honestly, you can read it at any time, but if you want peak primetime atmosphere, I definitely recommend reading this during the fall. It was so great. It talks about this teenage girl named Pip, who's doing kind of like a senior project, and her project's on the murder of this girl in their city called Andy Bell. And pretty much she was murdered by her boyfriend, Sal Singh, and it's along her journey of discovering the truth about the situation. She works with Sal Singh's younger brother, Ravi Singh, and the romance that goes on is about their little relationship that's starting to form. It's kind of like friends it's very like flirty friends, but it builds in a great way. And yeah, emphasis of this book is mainly on the plot, but you also you feel the emotions of Pip and Ravi throughout the whole entire book. And even if they don't actually say what they're thinking, you kind of just know, you can interpret as a reader. And that's what I love about this book, is there were so many unsaid moments that you could tell there was a connection. I think there's 3 books in this series, and it's YA, so it's a great mystery series. You can read this winter, spring, summer, fall. Recommend fall because it takes place in October, I believe, or August, beginning of her senior year. And so this was perfect because I was reading this beginning of my senior year, and I was like, do I need to like discover someone's scary death? But anyways, so yeah. So the third series I have for you guys is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I read this in, I think, September of 2022, and I love this book series. Like, I haven't read the second book, but based off everything I know from this one, if I can remember correctly, which I'm pretty sure I can, there's no spice. They kind of hint at stuff, but it goes dark. It doesn't really advance on any of that. And that's one thing I love about it, because it's pretty much a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but in Shanghai and all this stuff, and it talks about family and rivalry, and you have enemies to lovers, but it's almost like the roles are reversed, because you would expect the girl to be more soft, but the guys were, it's beautiful. I love this book. Everything is so descriptive, and it really makes you feel like that you are in the streets of Shanghai, battling this family war, but then they have to work together to like save Shanghai, and anyways, it's an incredible book, and I definitely recommend it. I have to read the second one because I didn't end up reading it. Honestly, if you just read the first one, you will be fulfilled and satisfied with it. You can read the second one. I will be reading the second one, but reading the first one was like, okay, I'm good. I like this. I know I like this, and yeah. Now, the fourth series that I'm going to talk about is one that was really circling around at the beginning of BookTok and BookTube and bookstagram, all that stuff, but it's Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I haven't read the books for Shadow and Bone, but I did watch the Netflix series and I loved it. But Six of Crows pretty much is like a side quest to the main quest in Shadow and Bone. So if you loved kind of the villain arc, the villain characters, like if you liked those characters, definitely recommend reading this. I didn't read the books, but I watched the series, and I was able to follow along with this one really well. And this is long as well, but it's so worth it. And in the beginning, it doesn't really go do a deep dive on like the characters and their personalities. You just kind of get to know them. So I'd recommend either watching the Netflix series or reading the books to give you a background on what this book is like. But it goes through Kaz and the kind of gang, the Six of Crows, and their journey. It pretty much just talks about a lot of adventure, a lot of kind of nail-biting moments. You never really know what's gonna happen. There's the bit of romance that blossoms in here. Is very minimal, but it's just the right amount that you're like, oh, yes, yeah. Okay, so the last and final book series I'm going to talk about in this video is actually one of my favorite book series I have ever read in my whole entire life. I rate this a 5-star. This is my 5-star series. I love this. It's almost up there with Harry Potter, and that is saying something because I am a Harry Potter girly through and through. I just eat it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this book series made me feel all the same feelings. It's the Inheritance series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She is literally a master at writing. I don't think I have truly just, you know when you read a book and it just scratches the part of your brain where you're like, this makes sense. It was so easy to read, so easy to follow. I never got bored. I quite literally didn't ever put these two books down, the Inheritance series and the Hawthorne Legacy. It pretty much goes through this girl named Avery Grams, and Avery lives with Libby and her boyfriend in this kind of little rundown, sad home, but that's okay. And she receives this inheritance one day from Tobias Hawthorne, who's this like billionaire just around the world, and she has no idea how she even got this. Like, how would this guy have even known that, like, why would he pick Avery? She doesn't know. And all she does know is she has grown up playing chess. She loves playing chess with this little homeless man in the park, and like, she lives a very kind of mundane, simple life. She's just trying to get through high school. Like, girl is struggling, okay? Felt. But she receives this inheritance and pretty much just has to move into this massive, massive house. And you have love triangle, and she meets all the Hawthorne brothers, which I'm sure you guys have seen on Pinterest and TikTok, all the talk about them. Yeah, Avery pretty much gets to meet all these brothers, and there's 4 of them. There's Nash, Grayson, Jameson, and Xander. Xander literally is a sweetheart. He's the youngest one, but he is just so loving and so sweet. And the book takes you through Avery's journey of living in this house with these brothers, discovering new clues and keys about the reason why the Hawthorne brothers' grandpa gave Avery this inheritance. And you have such little, there's so many small moments in this book where I am like, oh my gosh, they literally gave us like the answer, but we just didn't know. You have just so many clues, and the brother every single brother has his unique relationship with Avery, and it's so cute to see and watch them like grow with her. Even in the series, like in the Hawthorne Legacy, you start to see more of just the bond they're building, and you get really attached to these characters because you learn so much about them, and you just find out more things about them, and the vulnerability that they slowly start to express over time, and with the more secrets that you learn about and uncover, is just mind-boggling. And I honestly, like, I would not change a thing about these books. So it's like, the best way I can describe these book series is you will never get bored, and you will definitely most likely want to fantasize about this and literally live this in your own life. So yeah, those are the 5 book series I have for you guys that are very clean romance, no spice, but absolutely and totally and completely incredible to read. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!